What if one of the most talked about Jimin moments didn't happen on a stage at all? No powerful choreography, no spectacular performance, no emotional speech, no dramatica non cement, just Jimin BTS sitting down and eating. And yet somehow, ARMY immediately noticed something. One tiny detail in this ordinary moment suddenly became impossible to ignore. Fans began looking more closely at his expression, his movements, and the way he seemed completely absorbed in what he was doing. So what exactly caught everyone's attention? Was it the way Jimin looked while enjoying his food? Was it his unexpectedly cute expression? Or was there something about this simple moment that reminded fans why they have always felt such a strong emotional connection with him? Today, we are taking a closer look at that seemingly ordinary moment and exploring why Jimin doesn't always need a stage, a microphone, or a spotlight to capture the attention of millions. Because sometimes, the smallest moments reveal the most human side of a global superstar. And if you stay until the end, you'll understand why a simple video of Jimin eating can create such a surprisingly powerful reaction among ARMY. But before we go any further, there is something important to remember. When a short video becomes popular online, fans can interpret the same moment in many different ways. One person may notice an expression, another may focus on his appearance, someone else may simply find the entire moment adorable. So today, we are going to separate what can actually be seen from the emotional reactions and interpretations surrounding it. And the more closely we look at this moment, the more interesting it becomes. Jimin is simply eating, but the internet is watching. Why? Let's start with the most obvious part. In the video, Jimin is enjoying his food. There is no elaborate performance happening. He isn't standing under concert lights. He isn't delivering a carefully prepared speech. He is simply having a meal. And perhaps that is exactly what makes the moment so appealing. For someone as globally recognized as Jimin, everyday activities can look completely different when captured by a camera. For most people, eating is something we do without thinking twice. We sit down, choose our food, take a bite, enjoy the taste, and continue with our day. But when the person doing the exact same thing is Jimin from BTS, millions of people suddenly become interested. Not necessarily because eating is extraordinary, but because Jimin is. They have seen the performer. They have seen the dancer. They have seen the artist. They have seen the confident Jimin who can command an enormous stage with nothing more than a look or a movement. But moments like this reveal something different. They reveal Jimin when he is not performing. And that contrast can be surprisingly powerful. On stage, every movement can have meaning. Every facial expression can become part of a performance. Every gesture can be carefully controlled. But when someone is eating, their reactions are often much more spontaneous. A small smile, a glance at the food, a subtle change in expression, the way they pause between bites. These tiny details can feel much more natural. And that natural quality is something fans often find incredibly endearing. There is something universally relatable about watching someone genuinely enjoy their food. We all know that feeling. You taste something delicious, and suddenly your expression changes without you even realizing it. You become more focused. You slow down. For a few moments, nothing else seems as important. And perhaps that is one reason why Jimin's eating moment feels so warm. It doesn't feel like a performance. And for fans who have followed Jimin for years, seeing that side of him can create a completely different kind of emotional connection. Because beneath the global fame, the awards, the sold-out performances, and the enormous success of BTS, there is still a person who enjoys simple things. A meal. A quiet moment. A comfortable environment. A few minutes without needing to perform for anyone. That may sound incredibly ordinary. But sometimes ordinary moments become meaningful precisely because they are ordinary. Think about the way we remember people we care about. We don't always remember the biggest events. Sometimes we remember the smallest things. The way someone laughed. The way they reacted to their favorite food. The way they looked when they were relaxed. the tiny habits that made them feel familiar. For many ARMY, moments like this can create a similar emotional feeling. Not because fans personally know everything about Jimin's private life, but because they have watched his public journey for so many years. They have watched him grow as an artist. They have watched BTS evolve. They have witnessed countless milestones. And then suddenly, they see Jimin doing something as simple as eating. It becomes a tiny snapshot of a much larger journey. And that is where the real curiosity begins. What exactly are fans focusing on? Maybe it isn't the food. Maybe it isn't the location. Maybe it isn't even what Jimin is wearing. Maybe the real focus is his expression. There is something fascinating about watching someone when they appear completely absorbed in what they are doing. When Jimin is performing, his eyes can communicate confidence, intensity, emotion, and charisma. But while eating, that energy can become much softer. His attention is somewhere else. His expression feels more relaxed. And suddenly, fans get a glimpse of a side of Jimin that feels less like a global superstar, and more like someone simply enjoying a normal part of life. That contrast is incredibly compelling. We often see celebrities at their best. Perfect lighting, professional styling, carefully prepared appearances, massive stages, thousands of cameras. But everyday moments can feel different. There is less distance. There is less spectacle. That is why a simple meal can sometimes become more memorable than a major event. It gives viewers a chance to pause and see the person rather than the superstar. And for Jimin, that distinction is particularly interesting. His career has been defined by performance. His dancing is often praised for its precision and emotional quality. His stage presence has become one of the qualities that makes him recognizable around the world. But the moments between performances can be just as revealing. When he is laughing, when he is talking casually, when he is reacting to the other BTS members, or when he is simply eating. These are the moments that remind fans that behind the polished image is a person with ordinary human experiences. And that is perhaps one of the most powerful elements of fandom. People don't only connect with achievements. They connect with personality. They connect with emotions. They connect with memories. They connect with moments that make an artist feel relatable. That is why ARMY reactions to simple Jimin moments can become so enthusiastic. One fan might say that he looks adorable. Another might notice how relaxed he seems. Someone else might simply write that they could watch him eat all day. These reactions may sound playful, but underneath them is something deeper. Fans are responding to familiarity. They have seen Jimin through so many chapters of his career that even a small moment can feel like another piece of the story. When people repeatedly see a public figure through music, interviews, performances, and shared experiences, they can develop a strong sense of familiarity with that person. That does not mean they personally know the celebrity, but the repeated exposure can create a feeling of emotional recognition. You recognize their smile. You recognize certain expressions. You recognize their stage presence. And when you see a familiar person doing something ordinary, your brain naturally pays attention. It is the same reason we might smile when we see a friend enjoying their favorite meal. The action itself is simple. The emotional meaning comes from the person. And perhaps that is exactly what is happening here. Jimin is eating. But ARMY sees Jimin. There is a difference. The food is only part of the scene. The real story is the emotional reaction surrounding him. And that brings us to another interesting element. The way these small moments fit into the larger story of BTS. For years, fans have watched the members share meals, laugh together, tease one another, and simply spend time together. Those moments have become an important part of the BTS experience. Because BTS has never been only about polished performances. Their appeal has also come from the sense that fans are able to see different sides of the members beyond the stage. Jin's humor, RM's thoughtful personality, Suga's calm presence, J-Hope's energy, V's unique charm, Jungkook's playful side. and Jimin's warmth and emotional expressiveness. Each member brings something different. And when Jimin is seen in a quiet moment like this, fans naturally connect it to the broader collection of memories they have accumulated over the years. Maybe that is why a simple eating video can trigger so many comments. People aren't reacting only to the few seconds on screen. They are reacting to everything those few seconds remind them of. The concerts, the music, the old BTS content, the funny moments, the emotional moments, the years of memories. And suddenly, a bite of food becomes part of a much bigger emotional story. But we should also resist the temptation to turn every tiny movement into a hidden message. Not every expression has a secret meaning. Not every glance is a clue. Sometimes Jimin is simply hungry. Sometimes he is simply enjoying his meal. And perhaps that is the most beautiful explanation of all. He doesn't have to be sending a message. He doesn't have to be creating a viral moment. He doesn't have to be performing. He can simply exist in the moment. And fans can simply enjoy watching it. There is something comforting about that. In a world where everything seems to move at incredible speed, seeing someone pause to enjoy a meal can feel almost peaceful. It reminds us that happiness does not always need to be dramatic. Sometimes happiness is a favorite food. Sometimes it is a quiet moment. Sometimes it is a laugh with friends. Sometimes it is simply having enough time to sit down and enjoy something. And perhaps that is why this particular Jimin moment feels so relatable. Because regardless of age, background, or where we live, we all understand the simple pleasure of enjoying a good meal. That universal experience creates a bridge between the superstar on the screen and the people watching him. For a few seconds, the enormous distance between global celebrity and everyday life seems smaller. Jimin is still Jimin. He is still one of the most recognizable performers in the world. But at that moment, he is also simply someone enjoying food. And that is something everyone can understand. Now here is where the story becomes even more interesting. When a celebrity is not actively performing, viewers often pay attention to details they might ignore during a concert. The smallest facial expression suddenly becomes noticeable. The way they sit, the way they move, the way they react. Even the way they pause between bites can become part of the conversation. And with Jimin, these details can be especially captivating because his facial expressions are such an important part of his artistry. He has built an entire performance language around emotion. So when the camera captures his natural expressions during an ordinary activity, fans naturally notice. Not because every expression has a hidden meaning, but because expressions are part of what makes Jimin recognizable. And perhaps that is the one thing ARMY keeps focusing on. His face. His reaction. That little moment when he appears completely immersed in enjoying his food. It is small. It is simple. But it feels real. And sometimes real is exactly what people are looking for. Especially in an era when so much online content is carefully edited, filtered, staged, and optimized for attention. A spontaneous moment can stand out precisely because it feels unplanned. That authenticity can make viewers stop scrolling. It can make them smile. It can make them replay the clip. And it can make them share it with someone else. Suddenly, a simple moment becomes a conversation. That is how internet culture works. One person notices something. Another person reacts. Then thousands of people see the same thing. Everyone brings their own interpretation. And before long, the original moment has become part of a much larger online discussion. But at its heart, the moment remains incredibly simple. Jimin was eating. And people loved seeing him happy. Maybe that is the entire story. Or maybe there is another layer we have not yet considered. Because the reason these moments matter to fans may go far beyond cuteness. They can also represent something emotionally reassuring. Seeing someone you admire looking comfortable, relaxed, and able to enjoy a simple moment can make fans feel happy for them. After years of demanding schedules, intense performances, travel, and public attention, A peaceful meal can seem like exactly the kind of ordinary moment everyone deserves. And that is why this video may resonate so strongly with longtime ARMY. They are not necessarily looking for drama. They are not necessarily looking for controversy. Sometimes they just want to see Jimin enjoying life. And perhaps that is one of the most wholesome reasons a simple video can become so memorable. Because sometimes the most meaningful stories are not about something happening. They are about nothing happening at all. No crisis. No controversy. No dramatic announcement. Just Jimin. Eating. Smiling. Existing. And giving fans a tiny glimpse of a peaceful moment. But we are not finished yet.